Alright guys, we are back for more of Come and Party with Nick's birthday special. We just did a game of Mario Party 6 for the Nintendo GameCube, and that was a whole lot of fun. We played a game on eGav's Garage, and we were able to pull off a very good successful win on that. So, for our next segment, we are going to be playing... That's right! Mario Party 8 for the Nintendo Wii. So let's see how we do. And you might notice Mario Party 7 would normally be up next in terms of the Mario Parties after Mario Party 6, but I'm actually not doing that in this birthday special because Nick didn't actually request it right here, because he's actually decided that he wanted me to make things a little bit more interesting this way, because since I'm not doing Mario Party 7 right here in this birthday special, it's actually going to get replaced by two different Mario Parties that Nick normally doesn't request right here. So that's basically where we're going to be doing it like that. But anyways, let's see what happens here on this game, and let's of course head off to the party tent. Alright, so anyways, like always we'll do a Battle Royale. I have one player, and I'll of course play as Mario. And which computer players are we taking on this game? Alright, so it looks like we're taking on Waluigi, Daisy, and Birdo. And we're going to do 10 turns. And we'll have the computer players in normal difficulty. And for the board that we're going to play on here for this segment, Nick requested me to do Koopa's Tycoon Town. Anyways, let's get into it and see how we do. And another point I should mention right here why I'm not doing Mario Party 7 right here in this birthday special is because it's actually Nick's least favorite among the first 8 Mario Parties from what he told me. But anyways, with that being said, let's see who's going first. Survey says... Oh, I'm going last. Oh well. So Waluigi's going first, Birdo's going second, Daisy's going third, and I'm going last. Alright, so like always on this board, the nearest hotel is right over there. Alright, let's get this party started. Alright, so that's a 2 for Waluigi to start off. Now it's Birdo's turn. She gets a 2 as well. Alright, now on to Daisy. Alright, 7. She's gonna get ball candy. So it looks like she's gonna be having the first hotel to start off here. So I will give Daisy a star. Alright, on to me. Alright, there's a 5. And I'll gladly take some bit-sized candy. Alright. So either way, I'm not going to be able to take over this hotel. Even though Daisy's got 10 coins, we of course can't put in the same amount as the owner. So it would be better for me to pass on investing some coins for now. Alright, we're going to start off with a 4-player mini-game. And we are going to be playing... Shake It Up! Okay! Definitely a good minigame for us to start with right here. I certainly love this one. Alright, here we go! Go! got the win just like that. Alright, time now for turn 2. Alright, so 1 for Waluigi. Burrow's gonna get a 7. She gets ball candy. So Burrow's gonna be able to take over this hotel. And it's gonna be a 2-star hotel as well. So that's 2 stars for Birdo. And Daisy has to give up her star. Let's see what Daisy's gonna get here. She's gonna bring out her bowl of candy. Three. And she is gonna get some of Birdo's coins, but Birdo only had 3 to lose. Alright, now back to me. I'll go ahead and bring out my bit-sized candy right now. Alright, a 5, not too bad. So we do get a fair amount of coins right there for all those spaces that we moved. Alright, on to another 4-player minigame. What do we have this time? Crank to rank. Alright, this should be another easy one. Got it! Alright, let's keep going. Alright, Waluigi's getting a 7 this time, and he gets thrice candy. And now he's going to be able to take over this hotel. Alright, that's 2 stars for Waluigi. And now Birdo has to give up those 2 stars. Alright, we're going to Birdo. Yeah, I kind of figured she was going to bring out her ball of candy right here, because all her opponents are just in front of her. She gets a 7. So just like that, all of Birdo's opponents get run over right here, and she does get some coins from all those players, including me. Alright. 1 for Daisy, but at least she didn't have any coins to lose there on that red space. Alright, there's a 10. Okay. I'd like to go to the right. What kind of candy do you have? Okay. I think I'm gonna just slow go candy. Oh, we could actually go for a DK space by going up right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now Donkey Kong is gonna help me invest some coins at a certain hotel. We put in 20 right there, nice. And that will help me get this hotel. And not only that, it's gonna be a 3-star hotel. Thank you very much, Donkey Kong. So we are getting 3 stars. And now Waluigi has to give up those 2 stars there for what he had. Alright, see you, Donkey Kong. Alright, now DK spaces are Bowser spaces, so let's try to watch out for those. Alright, time to do a 1 versus 3 minigame now. And we're playing Picture Perfect. So, I'm going to be pairing up with Waluigi and Birdo. Let's do it. Alright, we're starting with the Fire Flower for round 1. Oops. Okay! So we got the first one before the time ran out. Alright, on to round 2, now we have the Flying Shell. Alright, there's another one. Alright, we need 1 more to win. Alright, we got the Yoshi egg for round 3. And we did it! That's how it's done. A 2 for Waluigi, and he's gonna end up getting that lucky space. That sucks. Alright, 4 for Birdo. So she is going to get that hotel right there, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. And it becomes a 2-star hotel already. So that's 2 stars for Birdo. Daisy's gonna get a 6. Oh, I think for where I'm at right here, since I do have Slogo Candy, we could have an easier chance to get a lucky space that's just ahead of us right here. Yeah, alright. So what I'm going to do is I will bring out my Slogo Candy so that way I can have an easier chance to get that lucky space. I'm going with the 4. There we go! Now we get a lucky space for ourselves here. Alright, so it's off to a 3-star hotel. gonna do a 1 versus 3 minigame here. And this time we are playing Swerving Skies. I'm pairing up Burrow and Daisy this time, so basically I'm with the 2 ladies. Alright, let's go! Alright, 10 seconds left! Got it! How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Alright, let's see what happens down the next turn. It's gonna be a 6 for Waluigi. Now he's about to get 3 stars right here from this hotel. And I figured he was gonna put in all his money in that. Looks like he's going to be losing some of those coins that he just earned there on the red space. Alright, 6 for Birdo. Alright, looks like Birdo is headed straight to a hotel with that green space she landed on. Looks like it's going to be that hotel that Burrow's going to. Alright, Daisy's getting a 4. And she's now about to get herself a star from this hotel. Alright, so it is my turn, and we get a 6. I'll gladly invest in some coins here. And I gotta put in all my money right here at this hotel in case if somebody does take it over later. Alright, 3 stars coming my way. And it's time for a battle mini game. How much do we have to exchange? 20 each. And all of us cannot afford it, and we're playing for a total of 40 coins. Alright, let's see what we're playing. Glacial Meltdown, okay. So let's see how this goes. Alright, looks like it's just me and Waluigi left. Uh-oh. That's gonna hurt. Alright! We got the win just like that. That's what I'm talking about. And we get ourselves 28 coins. Alright, time to head into the last 5 turns. Alright, let's check out our current standings. Alright, I'm in first place. Waluigi's in second. Bertle's in third. And Daisy's in last. Now we head into the final 5. Anything could happen, especially since it's time for Shop Charity! Alright, so since Daisy's in last place, she's going to be getting a bonus 30 coins. Alright, time to plop coins all across the board now. Alright, let's see what happens in the last 5 turns. So Waluigi's gonna bring out his thrice candy. Nine, 1, and 3 for a total of 13. But Waluigi doesn't quite have enough money to take over this hotel. He's just putting in 2 of his coins. Alright, he's gonna get Slogo candy. And Waluigi's gonna be able to get that hotel since he's the first one to go right past it. And very quickly it becomes a 2-star hotel. So Waluigi just got himself 2 stars. And he's going to be losing some coins on the red space. Alright, that's 1 for Birdo. And she's not even close to having enough money to take over this hotel. But she's still going to put in all 2 of her coins anyway. Alright, 9 for Daisy. And she gets full candy. And it looks like she does have enough money to take over this hotel. She is going to put in all 30 of her coins. And it's now a 3-star hotel. Alright, 3 stars for Daisy right there. So there goes 2 Waluigi stars. Going back to me. And we get a 6. Okay. What kind of candy do you have this time? I'm gonna go for vampire candy this time. Alright, let's invest in some coins at this hotel. And I'll put in all 21. And it becomes a 2-star hotel, just like that. Alright, that's 2 stars for me. Alright, we're gonna do a 1 versus 3 minigame for this one. And it's gonna be Power Trip. Alright, I'm pairing up with Burrow and Daisy for this one. Alright, so what happens here? It looks like all of us survived right there. That was amazing. So that does give us the win right there on that mini game. Alright, back to the board here as we have 4 more turns left. Alright, 8 for Waluigi. Just barely avoiding that Bowser space. Burrow's gonna get an 8. Oh boy, she's gonna get Cash Zap candy. Alright, Daisy's getting a 6. And she just landed on a Bowser space. You failed. Now Bowser's stealing some coins from this hotel. Oh, it's the one that Birdo has. Alright, so Bowser spaces are back to being DK spaces. That's good news. Okay, let's hold on to my vampire candy for now. Alright, we get a 7. Alright, there's some twice candy. Okay. So I currently have this hotel. Well, I guess I'll invest in some additional coins. Let's put in half of what I got for right now. So we're still going to be losing some coins on the red space. Now it's a 2 versus 2 minigame that we're playing. And it's going to be Sugar Rush. And I'm pairing up with Daisy for this one. Anyways, it's time to go make some cakes. That's 1. Alright, just gotta get 1 more. Got it! Alright, still got 3 more turns left. That's a 1 for Waluigi. Birdo's gonna get a 3. So she doesn't have enough coins to take over that hotel, but she's still gonna put in all 16 of her coins. Daisy's bringing out her ball candy. Four. So she ended up getting some of Waluigi's coins. Alright, let's go to me. Let's use my twice candy. Three. And one for a total of 4. That's not too good. We're going into a 4-player mini game. And it's going to be rather madness. Alright, let's do it. And we win! That is how I roll. Alright, 2 more turns remaining right now. It's a 10 for Waluigi, and he's going to be buying twice candy. He's only got 1 coin to put on this hotel, and that's what he's doing. Now he gets Calf Sap candy. Alright, let's go to Birdo. She gets a 6. Oh, now she's getting a DK space. Oh boy. So Donkey Kong's now gonna invest in some coins for Birdo.